Welcome back to One Comic Book Day, where we're covering Adventure Comics 167, Lana Lang Supergirl. This is one of those stories where Superboy has to make a character think they have superpowers or something bad will happen to them. It's still a pretty forced, contrived storyline, as an ancient Egyptian helmet that her explorer father, remember Lana's parents are explorers, that's why they're out of town constantly, comes back with, and she thinks it makes her invulnerable, mainly because Superboy is saving her from being accident prone. And hey, this is a different story for Lana Lang. Most Lana Lang stories have been focused on proving that Clark Kent is Superboy, maybe because this is the first time she is not in the main Superboy title, but in the Adventure Comics title. She's moved over to existing in more than one comic. Of course, it's still another Superboy comic. And he really has to let this happen because some criminals try to steal the artifacts, and one takes a shot at Clark, and instead of him using his powers, she sets the helmet on him. And, well, if he admits that the helmet doesn't work, Clark Kent has a lot to explain with how a bullet just bounced off of it. But maybe we should have done something with these criminals. They're going to disappear and come back at the end of the story. And for how easily they're dealt with, they're not much of a threat, and maybe we should have done something else for the ending. Instead of Clark is mostly annoyed having to continue to make Lana think she has superpowers, using his own powers to manipulate things, like her jumping off a building and him using his breath, or him hollowing out a rock so she can pick it up. It's that kind of stuff. It becomes repetitive, like most Golden Age Superman or Superboy stories. They all just become repetitive because he's doing basically the same flavor of thing over and over again until we get to a climax, and then unfortunately the climax craps the bed. The criminals are not much of a threat. The only reason they survived in the first place was because he was stuck being Clark around Lana, which generally he finds easy ways to get out of that. And maybe I would have respected that if we had done that again at the climax and he found some clever way. But instead, now just being Superboy, he stops them. I think my problem with the helmet is he could have gotten rid of the helmet at any time. He actually does try to throw the helmet across town, but eventually it's found. And you can argue that is him trying, but we have already seen this man throw a discus past Mars. So him trying to get rid of the helmet and it staying on the planet, that's not him really trying all that hard. In fact, he doesn't have to try hard for him to throw it at the moon. He also could just destroy the helmet. I would say that him destroying artifacts isn't great, but it's not like his solution at the end, which is to create hundreds of copies of this helmet that Lana can't figure out which one is which, is all that much better. Like, in fact, he leaves it with a bunch of trash, his copies of the helmet, in a landfill / dump? Like, this helmet's going to get destroyed no matter what at this point. Unless he picked it up and brought it somewhere, but that brings on the extra risk of Lana thinking she has superpowers again. I just don't think the comics really know what to do with Lana most of the time. Like, she's not clearly in love with Clark. In fact, I just read a future Lana Lang story, not taking place in the future, but one we'll cover in the future, where I'm not sure they really have figured out Lana. Lana is just an annoyance for Clark, and she will fit whatever new annoyance they need for her. At least Lois is somewhat consistent. And of course, as the 50s get further along, it's going to be a story about, a man teaching a woman a lesson, which, honestly, this sort of is that. He never teaches her a lesson. He's mostly just annoyed at her existence, and that's still not great. Okay, that is it from Adventure Comics 167. Lana Lang, Supergirl. I don't think she ever actually went by Supergirl, and we've had a better Supergirl story with the princess. I wonder what she's doing. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Friday is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the boy of tomorrow, and just destroy the helmet. If you're just going to let it fade away and have it be harmed in this dump, be forgotten about in this dump, just destroy it. You're not doing it any favors. Okay, have a great day.